Over the weekend, I made something called Scuppernong Jelly, and I'm gonna give a quick review of how I did it. Um, I didn't use a specific recipe. I just took other recipes that I've used for jelly making before, um, to show it. And I'm not gonna have to remind people to clean their utensils, their bottles, because are if you can, you already know to do that stuff and don't need someone constantly repeating that in your head. If you can't figure it out, oh well, that's on you and your family. The thing you need to get together are sugar, couple of lemons. I used ball flex pectin, no sugar, no to low sugar added. Of course, a stainless steel pot. That was my canning pot. Got my scuppernongs, and I got a couple of clean towels. One will be used to wipe the towels, and other will be used to help me carry the jars because they get hot. Where you put your lids and rings in them. I put them in this way because then as I put the um, magnet, my magnet holder to it, pull it up, it'll come up exactly as I need it. And I have a pot of water with my clean, washed jars in it to sterilize, along with the funnel, the ladle, and also because it's going to be touching the lids, I put the magnet in there too. It's over on the side. It's in the water, trust me. I transfer my scuppernongs or muscadines. Actually, if they're red, they're muscadine. If they're green, they're scuppernongs. And you can tell, I can tell the ripeness. I know some of them look very dark, and most people would probably throw them away. But the reality of it is, that's when they're their sweetest, like a banana. And the dark green, they're a little bit tart, but they help with the jelly setting, even though I did use the pectin. Squeeze my lemons. I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice in my recipe. It's not necessary, but I like to do that to make sure that the acid level is high enough. Okay, now after I've let them sit in the pot and boil, I took half out because couldn't mash that many at one time. I took half out of the pot after they sat for about 20-30 minutes on simmer, about 5 or 6 on my about 5 or 6 medium high I should say, to help soften the berries. I mean the grapes, and to start popping them. Now I could have cut each one and then make sure I cut down far enough into um, the actual meat. But there's actually a lot in the skin too. That juice and flavor I wanted to get out of the skin also. Here's what it's looking like as we're mashing it. It's my lemon. Um, because my daughter was helping me, so I had her do most of the mashing. And I pulled the spoon aside to let you see that how the juice is really coming, and that's only with half of it right there. And you see there's a little steam coming up. It's starting to simmer or cook down even further. This is after it's cooked down further. And I took the pot and I put it half at a time over a strainer. The reason I used a regular strainer versus a sieve is because I wanted to make sure I got as much of the pulp as possible. This is about 4 cups of um, grape juice or scuppernong juice, muscadine juice. In this, I'm going to add my sugar, 3 tablespoons of pectin, which will equal 1 pack of the regular pectin, and this is the low to no sugar needed pectin. I didn't have to add sugar, but to help brighten the color, I added the sugar. And of course, I added the lemon juice. Come to a boil, and this is what is happening now. I'm letting it simmer, and then I like to skim off the foam that comes on top. Most people will use butter. I don't see the point personally, because isn't it that I'm trying to reduce the amount of, I'm trying to make it a little healthier. I mean, a pat of butter, a quarter tablespoon of, I'm sorry, a pat of butter, 2 teaspoons gonna kill. Now, I like to fill up my jars with the water from, I don't empty it, but then I push it aside, I pour it out. This way the jars stay hot. And I do this part one at a time, while I will funnel 1 jar at a time and then put it back in. But at that point, I done turned my water down so that it's no longer boiling. But trust me, everything is hot. I've already checked the set point to see if it's gelling, and it gels the way I like. I don't like it extra hard. I like to be able to take it out the refrigerator and can still put it on my toast. Okay. If you notice, some people would like it a little darker. You can add food coloring if you want it to have more of a greener color. This doesn't bother me because this is what I'm used to. Now, what I'm also going to do, because I don't like all that foam on the top, I'm going to spoon that foam off. Like I said, most people would have used butter from the beginning. I don't like to do that, but that's just me. Now, I'm going to put my lids on. I'm going to clean the top first, just in case any spilled onto the side. Any sugar that gets under the lid can expose the what's inside, not make a good seal. You won't hear that beautiful pop, and you will end up having to throw it out eventually, because it probably just turned to wine. In this case, it'll just turn to wine. But I'm not looking for wine. I'm definitely not looking for mold. So I'm going to clean it and put my 2-piece lid on. Use my jar lifter to help me place it into the can. And the water is hot. We were just able to get a good enough angle so it didn't fog up the camera each and every time. And after I took it out and let it sit for about 6 hours, this was the final result. Um, just a note, when you're boiling the liquid, you need to make sure that the liquid is boiled, that it comes to a rolling boil that cannot be stirred down. If you stir it prior to that, you won't get the sterilization that you're looking for. You won't get it up to kill any bacteria that you're trying to kill, that the acid may not kill. You want the heat to kill it. Okay? So, only thing I can tell you about the taste is, if you like grape jelly, this is a more intense, to me, Muscadine or Scuppernong is a more intense grape, to me.